Good afternoon. Welcome back. This is Business Now, focusing on the MSME traders, particularly those involved in import. And we're here at the Kenya Railway Boma line, that is in the CBD. This is where all goods are cleared here, and the traders are then able to pick them up, pay the taxes, and begin trading. Before this facility was put up in September last year, 2020, many of the small traders would have to go all the way to Mombasa to have their goods cleared from there. We've also told you about the process of consolidation, which is where small traders can come together and, sort of rent space in a container, if you think of it in that way, and then pay for that, rather than having the capacity to actually fill an entire container, something that many small traders in the country would not be able to do. We're here with the man who calls himself the father of consolidation. I want to close this discussion with you. Talk to us about, yes, this is a game changer. It, of course, has its challenges. Nothing is perfect in the beginning. What are some of the issues you feel need to be addressed in the consolidation process, in the processes that take place here, that can help traders get their goods faster and that can help them grow their businesses?
Number one, Yvonne, thank you for your question. One of the challenges that has not been addressed today is the cost of demurrage, or rather the cost that shipping lines charge.
Yeah.
And we feel that we let shipping lines go away with a lot of our dollars. And this is something that can easily be rectified in Parliament or through a Gazette notice, whereby we say that the maximum demurrage you can charge per day is $20, for example. Then we can say that you cannot charge demurrage until that container has stayed for 2 weeks. Because sometimes Mr. Karu and his team may have a challenge. Even sometimes the systems in KRA go down. Mr. Karu wants to help, but he cannot. He has to follow the way the procedure is. So we feel that we need to work on bringing down the cost of shipping. We also feel that Kenya Railways needs to engage us, so that we can see how to help the SMEs, because we want them to grow and bring in more goods. And when the charges are that high and they are charging dollars, really we need to. And Kenya Railways is property of Kenya. It's I'm a taxpayer, Manona. So why can't they give me a special rate so that I can grow my business? Another area that was not covered today is the cost of credit, because now it's very difficult for us to get money from banks.
Yes.
But the government has its own semi or autonomous bank institutions where money can be diverted, because if you say you've given Equity 100 billion to lend a small fish like James, Equity through one of their directors, Igale, told us, he showed us a chart of how well the economy is doing. So because he doesn't understand the basics of being on the ground. Because when he lends government and government gives him very good interest, he doesn't have to come chasing Kariuki, because Kariuki has not paid his debt. So we need to rethink about credit, because there is scarcity of credit in this country. Another area is that we have been let down a lot is trade. Trade has let down traders. In the first place, the
Ministry of Trade?
Yes.
Okay.
The three CSs who came in. One was a banker, the second CS was a lawyer, the current CS was a CEO. So none of them has ever even operated a kiosk, a vegetable kiosk. So how do they understand how business works? So they just wake up one day.
Would you be seeking to engage them? Is that
yes, we need to engage them,
you think,
so that they don't.
Do?
Yes, they don't just wake up one day and say we are banning potatoes. You need to register to sell potatoes, because apart from our SME group, we also have other MSMEs that don't necessarily import goods, and they're also going through very, very many challenges. And as I wind up, I wanted to thank your chairman, SK Macharia, and through you and your producers, for giving us this opportunity to be able to interact together. Thank you for coming down. I didn't believe a beautiful lady girls would not fear coming down Mashinani. And Karibu Sana, you've seen it's not a bad place.
No.
And we welcome you to come again and again.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much for having us and for speaking to us about this issue. Bwana Karugu from the Kenya Revenue Authority, you have the final word. So talk to many of the traders who are here in the country about another thing that we're talking about, counterfeits, making sure that they're able to track and trace a lot of the goods that they bring in from the most credible sources. And like we said, let's wait for that. Let's wait for that. Yes, so we're out live in the city. A plane just passed by. So Bwana Karugu, I was asking you to give us your closing remarks about the importance of, helping traders in the manner in which is happening here, but also perhaps sensitizing traders in terms of, counterfeit and making sure that the goods that they're bringing in abide by the laws of Kenya.
Thank you, Yvonne, once again. I think in terms of talking about the traders who are clearing their cargo through this place, Kenya Revenue Authority values these traders, the SMEs, And if you look at the taxes that we have collected from these traders in the last 10 months, we have collected about 1.3 billion. It's not true money coming from the SMEs. And that is why we had the instructions from the management, the Commissioner General, to ensure that any small trader or anybody in this country who is doing legitimate trade to be facilitated to the maximum, and we are not sleeping doing that. And also, again, I would like to bring to the attention of the traders that we have goods that are not allowed in this country, like the counterfeits. What is a counterfeit? A counterfeit is when you take over the intellectual property rights of a blooded item, and that is not allowed. You cannot be allowed to bring those items into this country. So we would not like traders to be cheated. Like now, you cannot bring an iPhone, a counterfeit or a fake iPhone to sell into this country. That cannot be allowed. And as I said earlier, we always inspect the cargo either at source or even locally here to ensure that those goods do not find their way into our country. We know there could be some things happening through our porous borders, but we are working on that. And I would also like to encourage traders, because we are getting information that even after the government put up this facility, we still have SMEs who are bringing in their cargo through other ports in the region and then finding their way into the country. Those ones, we are going to work on them. We will decide on them mercilessly, because the government has given a lot of support to these traders. And as you have heard them say, the inspection fee for a 40-feet container before was about 300,000 Kenya shillings. KEBS today is charging around that 1,000 shillings. So with all these savings, in terms of time, in terms of cost, then we should not have an SME going to any other place, but passing through here. Additionally, Yvonne, now that you have given Kenya Revenue Authority this opportunity, let me add this. Today, we have focused on one engine for the SMEs, which is the inward engine, what they can bring in. We are also supporting exports in a big way, and KRA is doing a lot to support our traders who are also exporting. As you are aware, we only export 30% of what we import. Actually, Yvonne, it's very unfortunate, because for every vessel that comes into this region, not just in Kenya, when it brings 100 containers, 70 go back empty, only 30 go back with cargo. And this mostly is the agricultural produce, sometimes maybe no value addition. We would like the the informal, what we would call the SMEs to come on board also and take advantage of the export engine. Because right now it is not well exploited. And our country will not grow in any other way.
Absolutely right. And that's a good place to leave it, because indeed we want to make sure that we are increasing and changing that balance scale. We should be exporting more than we are bringing in. So thank you for bringing that up as well as we conclude. I want to thank you both very much. Joseph Karugu is the Deputy Commissioner, Revenue and Regional Coordination. First of all, for your hospitality and allowing us here to see the space and to show it to Kenyans as well, other Kenyan traders, on what happens here. My thanks as well to you, James Kariuki, the Chairman of the China-Dubai Traders Group, explaining to us what consolidation is, understanding that. And my many thanks to the traders who've been here, whom we've spoken to, who have talked to us, the consolidators as well, and to those traders who've been speaking to us from Nyamakima and Kamukunji. So that is where we finish this part of the conversation, and asante sana for that. But, you know, as we do here on the show, we're focusing as well on another sector of the MSME trade, and that is, we will wait for that plane in just a moment. The skies of Nairobi are very busy this afternoon. Hopefully that means more trade for the